Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, I wasn't sure that I was on before, but I'm seeing some testing movement. Sounds okay. I think I'm on. All right. It is 1:15 on the dot, and this is technically day two of the Pen from Pen to Podium series that I'm running. Public speaking tips for Black women authors who are ready to put themselves out there this year. And today we started with, sorry, how to gain influence as a new author. I had to do a reset from yesterday. How to gain influence as a new author in 2024. And now we are ready. I just went and changed my shirt and had a little different look because I want the videos to look different when they come out. We're ready to talk a little bit about why you struggle. We want to be able to say, yes, everybody lives in love, and yes, everybody is having a great time together. However, at the same time, because of the specific package that we came in, there are particular things that happen to us contextually that affect our ability to confidently be visible. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about what it means to be visible, touch on some stuff as it relates to imposter syndrome and that kind of stuff. And so that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover how your context impacts your self-awareness and limits you in subtle ways. some of the practical tools to authentically overcome imposter syndrome. Okay. And we're going to learn powerful strategies to effectively promote your book through podcasts so that your message resonates far and wide. This is what we're doing in the Pen to Podium series. So yesterday / this morning, we worked on how to gain influence. Today, we're looking at how to move from a place of not being able to be visible or struggling with being visible. And tomorrow, Friday, January 5th at 1:15 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be learning powerful strategies to effectively promote your book through podcasts. Okay? Cool. So who am I and why should you care? I mean, I'm about to talk to you for about 30 to 45 minutes. And I think you might want to have an idea of who's the person who's talking to you, apart from the fact that I'm a beautiful woman with an engaging way of talking to my audience. You want to know who I am. So let me tell you who I am. I am Cherise La-Vonne, and I am many things. I fit no boxes. Janelle Monáe says, categorize me, I defy every label, but I will still try to put some labels on myself for the sake of you understanding the value that I can offer you in this session and in future sessions if you choose to work with me as a public speaking coach. I am an international keynote speaker and workshop facilitator. That means I have experience speaking across the world and can relate to clients as well as audiences of different cultures. I'm a trained radio and television presenter, and so I know how to train you in media presentation if that's something you're interested in. I'm an event host and a past smart pageant queen, which means I know how to charm the audience with my looks and my brain. I'm a national poetry competition winner, so I know how to make words magical for the ultimate impact. I'm a dancer. I'm trained in modern dance technique for 15 plus years. I'm a singer, I'm a performing artist, and an actress who performs here from time to time in Mexico where I live. I'm a trained architect and product designer. I have a master's of design in designed objects and a bachelor of arts in architectural studies. I'm bilingual, hablo español muy bien, entonces puedo hablarte con español también. I don't necessarily teach Spanish in my public speaking coaching. However, what I do is I use the principles of being bilingual to help you unlock the nuance of language and help my clients unlock the nuances of language so that you are able to communicate with even more influence and impact. I'm a digital nomad and a travel enthusiast. I see life beyond limits, and my daily experience is really connecting with people from different contexts, different parts of the world, which makes me very pliable and able to relate to different client contexts as well. And I'm a yoga practitioner and a bikini fitness athlete. And so I know how to connect with inner confidence and put that out into an outer confidence. That's me. Who are you that I serve? So who are the people that I serve? Well, I support Black women in growing from self-centered to confident using a 5C holistic framework so that they can become more expressive, clear, compassionate, and confident in their communication in their personal and professional contexts. More specifically, I serve Black women who are feeling disconnected from their identity as a speaker and struggling to find their unique voice. I serve Black women who are lacking confidence in their ability to speak on the spot. And so when they're called to speak in social contexts, they are shy and nervous. I support high-achieving Black women who are not being assertive enough and having a hard time expressing themselves with clarity in their work world and their personal life. I serve high-achieving Black women who are writing boring speeches, that fail to move people on a deep emotional or intellectual level. You want people to actually be moved to action when you speak. And I serve high-achieving Black women who may be experiencing social anxiety based on a fear of being judged for showing up or a fear of feeling like they're missing out. And today we're really going to tackle this last one, the idea of that fear of being judged, talking about why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman. And what I help you to do, I help you to get clear on your core message. I help you to perfect your unique style of presenting. I help you to learn anxiety reducing techniques. I help you to master emotional engagement. And I also help you to adapt yourself in any social context. So let us get straight into it. Why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman. And before I do that, I just want to check my comments, because the last video I was on, I had people giving me comments and I wasn't able to see them. So let's just see if there are comments happening on LinkedIn, just so I can make sure I'm being engaged with you. But if you are here either live or showing up afterwards, please go ahead and type ready if you're ready to hear what I have to share while I just sip a little bit of water. I've been talking all day. Number one tip for public speaking: drink tons of water. Lots of water. Okay, so are we ready to go in it? I'm gonna just move us along. Today, we're going to cover in why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman. Just reminding you, get your pens and papers out while I remind you what we're going to cover today. How your context impacts your self-awareness and how it limits you in subtle ways. We're going to cover the first step for getting out of your own way and out into the world. And we're also going to cover the 5C cure to imposter syndrome. That is, what is the path to confidence? All right, so that's what we're covering today. First thing, it's not you, queen. The question is, why? Give me a second. I'm not sure if I just went, did my sound just go out? I'm thinking it did. All right. Right. So I'm trying to find a way to have this show where you can see everything and you can see me. Okay. So it's not just you. Okay. It's not just you. You are a part of a greater context that does have an impact on why it's hard for you to be visible. I want us to zone in on the idea of being a multifaceted Black woman and recognize that a lot of times, even just by my targeting of Black women, we tend to recognize that there is a limited perspective, depending on who we're talking to, about what it means to be a Black woman. And a lot of times, a lot of us from our context have been impressed upon in subtle or very direct ways about what it means to be a woman or to be a Black woman. When you are a multifaceted Black woman and you don't fit that thing, then there is some idea of you needing to repress yourself that may come about. And I'll give you an example from my own life. I grew up in a family that was very, very religious. And I am very much aware and respectful of the higher power that guides my life. However, my expression of relating to that higher power is not in the same exact religious way that I grew up. I'm able to experience my spirituality from a lot of different directions, aka multifacets, than the one specific way that I was taught as I grew up. What does that mean? That means that as I am starting to show up, even as a public speaking coach, with my coaching that does include a spiritual aspect, and being able to show up completely authentically with that understanding of spirituality, I have had to deal with an internal suppression and repression of myself because the context that I grew up in told me that I could not be such an expression of a Black woman. A Black woman or a Jamaican woman or a Christian woman is this. Okay? So I want you, first of all, to have a little bit of compassion with yourself and the context that you grew up with. If you're struggling with being visible, if there is resistance that you feel every time you know you want to post something on social media, know you want to reach out to that conference, know you want to start your own podcast, know you want to start promoting your book, and yet you find yourself not really being able to do that. Apart from the context that has a repressive effect on your idea of yourself, sometimes the context also is that you don't have enough of a supportive idea of how to make yourself visible. So perhaps you really don't have the knowledge of what it means to be visible, first and foremost, in the digital space, in the media space, or in the public speaking space. You have no idea how to book public speaking gigs. You have no idea how to get onto the radio. You have no idea how to get onto the newspapers, or you don't have a good enough idea of how to present yourself on social media. All of these, not just to do it, but to do it in such a way that maintains maximum impact and influence. And so contextually, because you don't have that experience, you may be struggling with being visible because you just don't know what to do. Today and on this series, I'm using a new tool to actually stream. And yesterday, I messed up because I forgot to toggle a thing, because it's not, the screen sharing had 2 steps as opposed to 1 step. And that's just an example of starting to use a new tool that you don't have, you don't know how to do. And if you're nervous, you can say, if I was nervous, I could have said, oh my gosh, F this, yesterday didn't work, I'm over it. I could have had that conversation with myself and not show up because I'm still struggling to learn some very practical things. So that's one of the first reasons why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman. And I want you to just have compassion for and acknowledge the different contexts that have supported you not caring to be visible, and also have not been able to give you the tools to allow yourself to be visible. One of the tools that you can use to help you as you are allowing yourself to show up more in multiple spaces as a speaker, you can use the tool of coaching. And if you're still watching this video, that's what you're doing now. You're allowing yourself to be coached, to be impacted. You're allowing your context to expand, to support you in how you can be more visible. And if you're interested in working with me further and knowing more about how I work as a coach, you can always click the link in my bio and book a chemistry call with me. So that is number 1. Let's move on to number 2. So number 2, the second reason of why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman, you don't know who you are. And this comes down to a lack of clarity. Now, we can get very esoteric with this and ask the question, is it really possible to know oneself? And in some ways, based on my personal beliefs, no. We can't completely know ourselves because we're consistently in evolution. We're always growing, we're always changing. Our environment has impacts on us. The food we eat, the people we talk to, the air we breathe, the ideas we implant. So there is a certain esoteric understanding of you don't know who you are, and you probably never will. But I want us to come down to earth for a minute, just to have enough of an idea that our human brains can play with, okay? When you lack clarity about who you are and what you want, there is absolutely no way that you can get it, because you don't know what it is. Although life is a multiple stream of experiences that goes on and ever changing, you still can bring your life down to this moment, being this literal moment or this year or this month, and decide, in this moment, I am a public speaking coach delivering knowledge, information, and sharing my heart with people on my LinkedIn channel in this moment. In this moment, I can say this year, I'm looking to take on 4 more clients because I'm very passionate about working with multifaceted Black women, helping them become more confident in their communication. We can go as wide as a year. In this year, you could be saying as a Black woman, an author, aspiring author, I am an author who has written a book and I am ready to get that book out into the world and I want to have the skills to do so. But we want to go deeper than that because even those definitions are talking about what we are wanting to do. But I want us to get a little bit deeper in why we are even here. And so when it comes to me and the way that I manage my coaching, we always start out with understanding your core message. We do a little meditation that's like a little phone call to your soul. We say, hey soul, just wanted to know when we came to earth, what was the original intention? Or what was one of the main ways that we were meant to show up? And if you're interested in knowing about your core message, you're going to want to watch the last video that I did, the first video in this series, which was called How to Gain Influence as an Author in 2024. And we went through a whole exercise to get to your core message. So if you're interested in that, you're going to want to watch that video. It will be here on my page for some amount of time. Eventually it won't. So you want to know who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. So why? Because clarity is the first step in the path to confidence. Knowing what you're going to do is the first step in being able to do it. Knowing that you want to travel to Paris is the first step in being able to saving the money, booking the flight, going on the flight, getting there. You have to have clarity. So who are you? What do you want? What do you want in this moment? Related to public speaking, related to showing up as an author, relating to making yourself more visible, relating to your multifacetedness. Get that inner alignment. And then, okay? And then we're going to look at number 3. The third reason of why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman. And I want to remind you to do not just leave this empty-handed. I want you to, at the end of this live, or even right now, go to my link in bio, click on that link, and that's going to show you all of how I work as a coach. And even if you don't work with me, booking a chemistry call is going to give you some insight that's going to be helpful on your journey as a public speaker and putting yourself out there. So number three in why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman, it is this: you don't know how to align. You don't know how to align. You don't know the path to confidence. So I'm a woman who I love to think about the etymology of words. I love to think about the meaning of words. And my name is Cherise La-Vonne. And the word La-Vonne, it's a name derived, pardon me, from Yvonne, the French name Yvonne, which means archer, like bow and arrow. And I absolutely love that this is my name because it gives me this context of, once I have clarity on what I want, point number 2, how am I going to align to be able to get it? So once I know I want to be visible, how am I going to align to be confident enough to actually go visible? Well, here is how you're going to do it. And I'm going to take you through the steps. And these steps happen to be a part of my coaching framework to move from self-centered to confident. So that's what I do. I help Black women move from censored, self-censored, that is showing up shy, uncertain, nervous, to being fully confident, that is showing up with compassion and clarity in their communication at home and at work and on the wider world still. So we're going to jump into this now. If you're ready, say ready in the comments. I'm still not seeing any comments here. So I'm not sure. I'm going to check that for the stream tomorrow and see how I can do that differently. We're going to look at what it takes to align. And there are 5 C's in the alignment process. The 5 C's are clarity, that is mental alignment; compassion, that is emotional alignment; consciousness, that is spiritual alignment; conviction, that is physical alignment; and then confidence, that is you radiate energy that is aligned completely. I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share another that has this ready to show you. And so just checking if you're seeing my screen, and I don't think you are, but I think you are now. So this is the page that you're going to go to when you click the link in my bio. And these are the specific coaching goals that I have for all of my clients to align with their main message so that they can move with confidence. And we move from clarity. And in clarity, you have ideas that are well structured and easily understood. Then we go to compassion. We go to the emotional heart realm. And here you connect deeply with your audience and you have influence. You know how to do that. Okay. So you know how to deeply connect with your audience. You know how to have influence. Another way that you can get over the struggle of being visible as a Black woman is to make sure that you communicate with consciousness. That means that your message, style, and delivery are divinely inspired. You also want to be sure that you communicate with conviction. That means that your body language expertly supports your message. And the last bit of alignment is communicating with confidence. You radiate an energy that speaks without words. And just a reminder that this is point 3. This is point 3 on why it is you struggle with being visible as a Black woman. And it's the biggest point of all. You don't know how to align. You don't know how to align to visibility. You don't know how to align to confidence. But guess what? I'm not just going to put you here and say, oh, you don't know, and leave you there. I'm going to show you how it's possible. And I'm going to show you the exact pathway that I use with my clients to move from censored to confident. I've had clients who've come in who only hired me to get a little bit more sense of self when they were presenting in their weekly work meeting. And by the end of it is giving speeches in their book club, right? I've had clients who are moving from, I just don't want to show up stupid when I have a work conference, to actually now being motivated to start a YouTube channel. So these are the clients that I have that have actually applied these steps that I'm going to give you right now about how you can align with confidence so that you have more fun being visible as a Black woman, as a multifaceted Black woman. So let's go ahead and share that screen with you right now. And I'm just going to share it directly from my website because it's actually pretty much all there, and you can go ahead and see more of it afterwards. It's at the link in bio. So I said you don't know how to align, but now I'm going to show you how to align. So we're just going to go over to coaching content. And the way that you align yourself with confidence is first, clarify your core message. That's the first thing you need to do. The first thing you need to do is clarify your core message. That's the most important thing. And you do this by defining your zone of influence. If you were on the live in my last call, How to Gain Influence as a New Author in 2024, the retake, you would have learned how to do this. You need to get clear on your core message. What is it that your soul is here to share? And then you also need to choose impactful themes for your speeches and communication. So that's the first way to come into alignment with confidence so that you can show up more as a Black woman, as a multifaceted Black woman, and be confident doing it and be confident being visible. The second thing that you need to do is you need to flex your heart muscle. And you do this by sharpening up the story you tell yourself about your value and your worth. You do this by using diction, enunciation, and emotional expression to create greater emotional impact with your audience. And you also do this by connecting deeply with your why as a conscious creator or a public speaker. And if you work with me, one of the things that we do in every one of my modules is we have a tangible takeaway. And this tangible takeaway is emotionally expressive voice acting, where you actually get to practice connecting with your emotions in such a way that you express it completely with the emotion that is intended to impact the audience. When you know that you are a master of emotion, of your own emotion, but also the ability to affect the emotion of the people you speak with, then you feel absolutely more comfortable being more visible. So the next thing, this is stop number 3 on how you're going to allow yourself to show up with more confidence, be more visible. You're going to connect with your higher self. What does that mean? That means maintaining and integrating rituals that keep you connected with flow state. What is flow state? Flow state is that state of being that I'm in right now, where you are absolutely certain that the intentions that you put forth in life will come to pass, and you don't worry about anything. You just move with the moment, the momentum, right? Moment is a key word of momentum, and you want momentum. As a speaker, as an author, as a Black woman who has a strong message that she wants to put out there, you want that momentum. But what does momentum comes from? It comes from the moment. And you want to be able to have the integrated rituals, meaning your life is a ritual, that help you to stay connected in that flow state, that help you to stay in momentum. You're also going to want to develop your personal style of speaking based on your personality and your unique spiritual mission. And it doesn't matter what your faith is in this context. What really matters is that you are connected to a faith, that you have a strong purpose, that you know really is the backative force of why you're showing up, of why you're speaking. And finally, you're going to want to also learn the basics of speech writing. Not just how to create an outline, but also how to actually make the language magical, as I said before. As a poet, as a spoken word poet, as an award-winning poet, I have that skill of supporting you with making your language more magical. You want to use rhetorical devices that intentionally create specific points of interest and impact for your audience. And you're also going to want to master storytelling formats. And if you work with me, one of the tangible takeaways that we have when we go through this part of the process of becoming more confident and with being visible is you do a 5-minute short and sweet speech that is easy for you to put up on your social media, or if you are asked to speak maybe at your old high school or something, a very quick 5-minute speech that's also branded with your understanding of what is the impact that you specifically have. Branding is not about logos and colors as much as that is included in the brand representation. Branding is about the impact you have. On my call yesterday, I spoke about when you brand an animal, you literally impress a new identity into it. So what is the identity that you are impressing into the people that you speak, no matter where you speak or how you speak or who you speak to? So one of the takeaways we have from this module is that short and sweet speech that is branded to actually give the same understanding of the core message that you determined when we connected with clarity, right? So that's the third step in the 5C ways of aligning to confidence. Fourth, you need to use your breath and body awareness. So many of us take for granted the way that we breathe. So many of us take for granted our bodies as just sort of this meat suit that gets us from place to place. You need to be able to really connect with your breath in a specific and intentional way in order to activate to the maximum capacity your energy system in your bodies. And so we have an introduction to pranayama and proper breathing techniques when we work together to help you use this amazing tool that is already built into this amazing technology that is your body to maximize your breath awareness and your body awareness. Also, coming from my experience as a dancer and a yoga practitioner, we do movement meditation, somatic practices, and dance that help you to calm your anxiety so that you can use your body to your benefit when you need to show up authentically. The next thing that you need to do if you want to become more visible under this umbrella of using your body and breath awareness, you need to improve your posture, your general awareness, and you need to be able to amplify your message with gestures and body language. Take notes. I hope you're taking notes or screenshots because this is really valuable information if you're thinking about how to align yourself to confidence and be more comfortable with being visible. And like I told you yesterday or in this last video that I did, this information is free for you to use right now. Take it, run with it, use it as much as you can. If you want support to work one-on-one, you know where to find me at the link in bio to book a chemistry call. But take this information and move with it. And the final thing you want to do to come into alignment, because we said the third reason why you struggle with being visible as a multifaceted Black woman is you don't know how to align. You don't know how to align with confidence. You don't know the path to confidence. So the final thing is you want to finesse your stage presence, okay? And we finesse your stage presence by using the rapid response technique that I introduced in my last video, how to gain influence as a new author in 2024. And you're going to want to look at that if you haven't already. So you finesse your stage presence by using the rapid response technique for impromptu speeches, interviews, or panel discussions. And just to go over it very quickly, the rapid response technique is first recognize the direct context you're in, but also the context in general so that you connect with your audience in a meaningful way. Assert your main point in a short sentence or your main idea in a short sentence so that you immediately use the attention that you've captivated from point R, recognize, to implant your idea. 3, you're going to point out the main points that reflect that assertion point. And you're going to do that so that you are setting yourself up with the structure of the speech already, but you're also giving the audience a heads up as to where you're taking them. You're going to illustrate each of these points, breaking them out, going deep into it. And this is when you actually deliver the value. And D, you're going to direct your audience. So you're going to influence them in the direction that you desire with a clear directive that they would have been ready and primed to take based on the RAPI that you just took them through. Okay, so the rapid response technique is recognize, assert, point out, illustrate, and direct. When you finesse your stage presence, you also are going to want to practice presenting with visual aids. And you're going to want to develop tips for memorizing your speech and talking off script. Now, talking off script becomes easier and easier when we started with the clarity of the core message, because it means that you know how to always go back to a main idea that ties in everything you speak about. But there are other times when you have very specific scripts that you want to share. And so I'm going to be able to teach you, or if you want to go and find this information, go and look for tips on how you can memorize your speeches and talk off script, so that when you are talking to your audience, you can look them in the eye. If you're talking to an audience out there, you can move back and forth. You can use your body language to engage. so that you ultimately have the best stage presence. And you also want to learn and practice storytelling frameworks, and you want to know how to apply them to your life story so that you can use your life story again as a point of impact. If you work with me, one of the tangible takeaways that we have is a 15-minute storytelling speech. And so this is a speech that's a keynote address that we can do TED Talk style. We can do it as a graduation speech. We can do it as a valedictorian speech. Whatever it is that you want as a 15-minute storytelling speech that actually ties in your life story and infuses it with compelling storytelling tactics so that you're able to captivate your audience. So this is just going very quickly through it again, the steps to align, clarify your core message, flex your heart muscle, connect with your higher self, use your breath and body awareness, and then finesse your stage presence. And that's how you align with confidence and have the confidence enough to be visible as a Black woman. And talking about being visible, I want to just let you know and remind you that I do have slots open for my coaching. And if you come onto my webpage, which is at the link in bio, or you can just type in bit.ly/speak from the soul coaching. You'll come onto this webpage, you'll click this button, it says book a chemistry call, and then you'll see my calendar pop up and you'll book a call based on when there is opportunities to book such a call. And I'm currently taking on 4 new clients that we will start. So this week is going to be the week of calling and finding those clients and deciding which ones are the ones who I can work with and can take on in this time. And then next week on the 11th is when we actually get started with this quarter. But I want to also let you know that if you work with me, what you walk away with. By the end of our time together, you walk away with a 1-minute fail-proof intro speech. You also walk away with a 5-minute brand building speech. You walk away with an inspiring voiceover video. So you're going to become like a voiceover actor or artist. You walk away with a wordless movement only speech. We can call it dance, but it doesn't have to be dance. It's just movement that will help you to perfect your body gestures. You're also going to walk away with a 15-minute keynote address that you can use for conferences at your next event or at a TEDx event. You're going to walk away with mastery of impromptu speaking. So being able to speak on the spot no matter what. And you're going to walk away with strong speech writing skills so that your pen is at the ready anytime you're asked up to a podium. So that is that when it comes to how to align. And when it comes to why you struggle with being visible as a Black woman. And I'll just go over the main points. First of all, acknowledge that part of the reason why you don't feel comfortable being visible is that it's not really you. Your context had an impact on how much you are able to actually see your value. Because of that, you may not really know who you are, and you need to be able to learn how to align in order to come into that clarity and that confidence to show up with more visibility. Now, I want to remind you that this is the Pen to Podium series. Tomorrow, join me if you want to practice or learn how to start booking podcasts to promote your book. So how can you start booking podcasts? That is, you jumping on someone else's podcast to promote your book as a new author who is ready to promote her book in 2024. You want to know how to start booking your podcasts. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking all about that. We're going to be talking about how to set up a podcast sheet. We're going to be talking about how to find different directories that will help you to actually get that done. And then we're going to be talking about practically how you can show up and make sure that when you speak, you're selling yourself, your idea, and your message very strongly. So I will see you tomorrow at 1:15 Eastern for the rest of the Pen to Podium experience. And I hope this was really helpful. I hope that you have taken some stuff from it. If you want to connect with me just for connection's sake, if you're also a speaker or coach, I'm always happy to connect with different people. Connect with me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Cherise La-Vonne. Wherever you're watching this, you should see it here, Charisse La-Vonne without the hyphen. And that's where you can find me when it comes to coaching. I am on all the platforms, but when it comes to coaching, I really am mostly active on LinkedIn. And that is that. So I will see you tomorrow at 1:15 Eastern PM. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And please remember to be kind to yourself, to have compassion with yourself, and to do what you can to gain clarity so that you can go forward in confidence no matter what you're doing. Have a great day. Bye, Queen.